If you're watching this right now, it is not an accident. This is not just a video. This is a divine appointment. Because today, God wants to speak directly to your heart. You've been walking with pain that nobody sees. You've been smiling, but inside something has been breaking. You've been strong for everyone. But who has been strong for you? And yet, despite the pain, despite the silent battles, despite the nights you cried quietly into your pillow, you're still here. And that alone means one thing. Backhand index pointing right, God is not done with you. The enemy tried to break you. Life tried to crush you. People tried to replace you. But what belongs to God cannot be taken. What God protects cannot be destroyed. And what God declares yours, no one can stop. Today, God is whispering to your spirit. Your pain is ending today. Not next month. Not someday. Not eventually. Today. Because something is shifting in the spiritual realm. There were moments you thought, maybe this pain is permanent. Maybe my life will never get better. Maybe this is just my destiny. But hear this. God never allows pain without purpose. He never allows struggle without breakthrough. He never allows tears without glory. You have been in a season of pressure. But diamonds are formed under pressure. Oil is produced through crushing. Gold is purified in fire. And God says, I wasn't breaking you. I was preparing you. There were times you felt alone. You thought no one cared. But God saw the nights you couldn't sleep. He heard the prayers you whispered when your voice was shaking. He saw the battles you didn't tell anyone about. And while you were crying, God was working. While you were hurting, God was aligning things. While you thought everything was falling apart, everything was actually falling into place. Nothing was lost. You didn't go backwards. You were being positioned. Your delay was never denial. It was protection. That door that closed, God saw something behind it that you couldn't. That person who left, God heard the conversations you didn't. That opportunity that slipped away, God knew it wasn't connected to your destiny. Sometimes God removes things, not because He hates you, but because He's making room for what's coming. And what's coming is bigger, better, brighter, and blessed. Your story is not ending in pain. Your story is shifting into healing, restoration, and joy. Somewhere inside you, you've said, God, I'm tired. Not tired physically, but tired in the soul. Tired of waiting. Tired of trying. Tired of hoping. Tired of pretending everything is okay. And God replies, My child, rest. I am taking over now. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to figure out every answer. You don't have to fix everything. God is stepping into situations you thought were impossible. Right now, things are changing in the unseen realm. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was fear, peace will rise. Where there was lack, abundance will come. Where there was heartbreak, joy will overflow. Where there was rejection, favor will find you. Listen, the pain you went through wasn't wasted. It built your strength. It shaped your character. It grew your wisdom. It deepened your faith. And now is the moment God says, Sparkles, enough. Sparkles, enough suffering. Enough anxiety. Enough heartbreak. Enough waiting. Today marks the end of that painful season. Not because life magically changed, but because God changed the atmosphere around you. The same God who split the Red Sea. The same God who closed the mouths of lions. The same God who raised the dead. That same God is fighting for you. Your breakthrough isn't coming. It has already begun. Your healing isn't coming. It is already happening. Your blessings aren't on the way. They are already assigned to your name. Everything that was delayed is being released. Everything the enemy stole is being restored. Everything you lost will return multiplied. God is bringing beauty from ashes, victory from battle, testimony from pain. What you went through was preparation for what you are stepping into. You may not see it yet, but soon people will ask, "How did you survive that? How did you heal? How did you come out stronger?" And you will simply say, "God." Because this victory will not look normal. This blessing will not look small. This turnaround will not look ordinary. It will be supernatural. The kind that makes people silent. The kind that makes your enemies confused. The kind that makes heaven celebrate. And when it happens, you'll understand why the wait was long, why the pain was deep, and why the process was necessary. If you're still reading this, I want you to do something. Place your hand on your heart and take a deep breath. Now whisper, "God, I receive this." Because from this moment forward, your story changes. Your heart heals. Your peace returns. Your joy awakens. Your blessings appear. The chains are breaking. The heaviness is lifting. The storm is calming. God is restoring what was broken. God is rebuilding what collapsed. God is rewriting what seemed finished. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a new chapter. One filled with peace, purpose, clarity, love, and supernatural favor. Hear God say this one more time. Your pain is ending today, not because of luck, not because of coincidence, but because it's time. Time for breakthrough. Time for healing. Time for restoration. Time for overflow. You survived the hardest season of your life. Now get ready. Because blessings are about to chase you, peace is about to fill you, and joy is about to overflow in you. God didn't forget you. He was preparing you. And now, it's your turn to rise. Amen. Take another breath. Because what God is about to do in your life is not small. You see, there comes a moment in every believer's journey where the season shifts, not because you fought harder, but because God declared it. This is that moment for you. For so long, you've been walking through situations that didn't make sense. Storms came unexpectedly. People left without explanation. Doors closed that you were sure God had opened. And in those confusing moments you wondered, "God, are you even listening?" But heaven never went silent. You were in a season where God wasn't punishing you. He was positioning you. Because sometimes God will allow a storm, not to drown you, but to teach you how to walk on water. Sometimes He removes people, not because you weren't enough, but because they weren't assigned to your destiny. Sometimes He delays things, not because He forgot, but because the version of you that will receive the blessing needed more strength, more wisdom, more faith. And now, that version of you is emerging. Not broken, not abandoned, not forgotten, but rebuilt, refined, restored, chosen. You may not realize it yet, but even in your deepest pain, something inside you grew. Your patience matured. Your prayer life deepened. Your dependence shifted from people to God. You learned how to survive storms that once would have destroyed you. And now heaven looks at you and says, "You are ready. Ready for blessings you once weren't strong enough to carry. Ready for responsibilities you once weren't confident enough to handle. Ready for relationships you once weren't healed enough to receive." God isn't just ending your pain. He's transitioning you into purpose. There were nights you thought you were breaking, but you weren't breaking. You were breaking open. Like a seed buried in darkness, covered in soil, pressed by weight. Not realizing that the pressure was preparing it to grow. Growth never looks like growth at the beginning. It looks like isolation, silence, waiting, and pressure. You weren't buried. You were planted. And everything that tried to crush you only made you stronger. Every disappointment shaped your discernment. Every heartbreak purified your standards. Every setback corrected your direction. And now, the soil of your suffering is producing a harvest. A harvest of wisdom. A harvest of blessings. A harvest of peace. That storm was not the end. It was the beginning of transformation. Listen carefully. God is restoring you in ways you never expected. You thought restoration meant getting back what you lost. But God's restoration is different. When God restores, He multiplies. Job didn't receive what he lost. He received double. Joseph wasn't just rescued from the pit. He was promoted to the palace. David didn't just win a fight. His victory positioned him for the throne. And you are next in line for divine reversal. Everything that worked against you is about to work for you. The same circumstances that brought you pain will become the testimony that brings others hope. People who overlooked you will witness your elevation. People who walked away will see the table God prepares in front of them. Not because you need to prove anything, but because God will prove that His hand was always on your life. You're entering a new spiritual season. A season where peace becomes your normal, not your prayer request. Joy becomes your reality, not a moment. Strength becomes your identity, not your mask. God isn't just stopping the pain. He's replacing it with purpose, peace, clarity, restoration, and abundance. And the very thing that once wounded you will become the thing God uses to bless you. The enemy attacked you hardest in the area where God intends to bless you most. That's why your relationships were tested. Because you're called to love, lead, and connect. That's why your finances were shaken. Because you're called to overflow, build, and bless. That's why your mind was under warfare. Because you are called to carry divine clarity and spiritual authority. The enemy does not fight empty vessels. He fights those who carry destiny. And you carry destiny. That's why the battle was intense. But hear this. If the enemy could have destroyed you, he would have. The fact that you're still standing is evidence. God's hand is stronger than the enemy's plan. Right now, heaven is declaring victory over your life. Not future victory. Present victory. A victory that breaks chains you thought were permanent. A victory that heals wounds you thought were permanent. A victory that aligns opportunities that once felt unreachable. You are about to step into days where you look around and say, "How did this happen so fast?" And God will respond, "Because the waiting season is over. There are blessings with your name on them. Not general blessings. Not random blessings. But custom-designed, heaven-assigned, perfectly timed blessings. Blessings that won't feel stressful, confusing, or forced. Blessings that bring peace, alignment, confirmation, and joy. Because anything God sends comes with peace. Not anxiety. Anything God builds lasts. It doesn't crumble. Anything God ordains flows. It doesn't require begging. You're about to experience ease where there used to be struggle. Doors will open effortlessly. People will favor you unexpectedly. Opportunities will align perfectly. Because when it's your season, you don't chase. You attract. So now, release the fear. Release the doubt. Release the overthinking. Release the belief that things will always be painful. God is rewriting your expectations. You've cried enough. You've fought enough. You've carried enough. Now it's time to receive. Receive healing. Receive clarity. Receive peace. Receive blessings. Receive the love, purpose, and joy you deserve. Put your hand back on your heart and say these words slowly. God, I surrender the pain. I receive the peace. I walk into my new season. Because this is your moment. Your turning point. Your divine shift. The battle is over. The pain ends here. Your new chapter begins now. And this chapter will be filled with restoration, joy, purpose, miracles, and supernatural favor. The same God who carried you through the valley will now celebrate you on the mountain. This is your time. This is your breakthrough. This is your new beginning. Amen. Maybe life hasn't looked fair. Maybe things shifted in ways you never expected. Maybe people you trusted became the source of your deepest pain. But here's something you need to hear with your spirit. Not everyone who started with you was meant to finish with you. Some people were chapters, not the whole story. Some relationships were lessons, not lifelong connections. Some seasons were temporary, not permanent. And God allowed it. Not to hurt you, not to punish you, but to protect you. Because if certain people stayed in your life, they would have ruined what God was planning to build in you. If certain doors stayed open, you would have walked into places that would have broken your spirit. If certain opportunities worked too early, it would have crushed you under pressure you weren't ready for. God wasn't closing doors. He was closing traps. He wasn't removing people. He was removing distractions. He wasn't delaying your blessing. He was developing your strength. One day you will look back and say, I didn't understand it then, but now I see, God was saving me. Every tear you cried, heaven collected. Every silent prayer, God heard. Every moment you stayed strong while breaking, heaven counted it as faith. And God says, I will reward your endurance. You didn't give up. You didn't quit. You didn't let the pain turn you bitter. Even when you were tired, discouraged, confused, broken, you kept going. And because you kept going, now God says, now I will open what no one can close. The next season of your life won't just feel different. You will be different. You will think differently. You will speak differently. You will walk differently. Not from pride, but from healing. Not from ego, but from identity. You will no longer question your worth. You will no longer chase validation. You will no longer seek permission to exist, love, or dream. Because pain taught you what peace feels like. Loss taught you what value means. Rejection taught you what acceptance truly is. And now you know. Your value was never in who stayed. Your value was in who you are. A child of God. Chosen. Protected. Covered. Called. And destined. There is a version of you rising that the past version of you prayed for. A version who no longer fears the future. Who no longer feels stuck. Who no longer hides their calling. Who no longer apologizes for being chosen. This version of you is stepping boldly into destiny. And nothing, not fear, not doubt, not people, not the enemy, can stop what God is releasing over your life. Because when God decides it's time, nothing can delay it. Blessings don't ask permission. Breakthroughs don't wait for approval. Miracles don't require logic. They simply arrive. And your moment of arrival is here. So breathe. Not in fear, but in relief. You survived the hardest part. You endured the storm. You passed the test. And now, heaven is shifting things in your favor. Doors are opening. Answers are coming. Healing is flowing. Peace is settling. Opportunities are aligning. Love is returning. Purpose is awakening. Everything you thought you lost, God is returning. But better. Not as what you used to have, but as what you were meant to have. One day soon, you will wake up and the heaviness will be gone. You will feel lighter, clearer, stronger, and whole. Not because everything outside changed instantly, but because everything inside finally healed. You will smile, not to hide the pain, but because you feel joy again. You will sleep, not from exhaustion, but from peace. You will trust again, not blindly, but wisely. You will love again, not desperately, but confidently. Because this time, it will be God-led, not pain-driven. Your story isn't over. It's unfolding. And what's ahead is greater than what's behind. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. Your wounds may have hurt you, but they did not stop you. Your challenges may have tested you, but they did not defeat you. You're stepping into a new season, not of survival, but of overflow. Overflow of peace. Overflow of blessings. Overflow of joy. Overflow of purpose. Overflow of connection. Overflow of grace. This is not just a shift. It's a divine reversal. Everything that was working against you will now work for you. And everything you prayed for will meet you sooner than you expect. Because God